But at the same time, by adding so much of assessments, in which we are making the students test. Number one. Number two, by maintaining such a huge record and observing the students, we are definitely encroaching upon the personal space. We may try to teach them something, but at the same time, the students, the moment he is entering inside the school gate, until he leaves, he is under the scanner of the various subject teachers of these things. Is it not that we are encroaching upon the personal taste of the children, putting it in the assessment of giving the grade and creating a cyclone in the minds of the parents?
I have to make a remark and answer that question partially. See, all of us know it's the knowledge age. And knowledge age does not mean that we have to transmit whatever we know to the students. We have to create knowledge. When I say we, our students have to create knowledge. Now how do you create that curiosity amongst the students to learn? See, this is where the teacher is required. If it were just transmitting knowledge, the students would surf on internet and know everything. Have we ever encouraged our students in the classroom to ask questions? That's the basic thing that we have to learn. Encourage your students to ask questions. Tell your teachers, don't just make a student sit down when he or she asks a question. Encourage them to ask questions. Now you would say, students don't ask questions. True. Where is the fear? The fear is, number one, of the teacher. Tell him, Maharaj, sit down. This is not, we'll discuss it sometime later. Fellows would feel, oh, he doesn't know even this. He's asking this simple question. So, try to encourage the students to ask questions. Sharmaji was referring to Krishnamurti. I remember having heard him in person in Delhi a number of times. He used to come to the Constitution Club and deliver a series of lectures. And each one of his lectures would ultimately have what used to be described as a question hour. It could be half an hour. Remember one thing that he used to say. Somebody gets up, asks a question, and he would say, a good question has an answer in itself. The student may not know the answer. That spirit of inquiry. You see, after all, the curriculum framework that we have indicates the role of a teacher as a facilitator in the learning process, not as a teacher. I have been telling my students quite often, as a teacher, if I say I teach, I not only befool my students, I befool myself also. So I can't teach. I can only help students to learn. And this is where it is the student-centered learning process. Not teaching, student-centered learning process. If you are able to stimulate your teachers to do this in the classrooms, I have a feeling this, all that jargon that we had since morning would be accomplished. There will be no dearth of time. You may not finish the course, doesn't matter. Whatever the students learn with you, if they learn it well, probably the purpose is achieved. Thank you.
The students themselves, what is the importance? If there is a storm in the minds of students, that storm needs to be given a direction. That well, even if you get 90% marks in class, skills you are not able to adjust with people, you don't have good emotional skills, you are not able to cope up with. You have to tell them. We're focusing more and more on 90s and 95% marks in the examination, in the board examination.